You've been lied to. The optimal morning routine isn't cold plunges, saunas, 90 minutes of journaling, biohacking, meditating in Bali, green juice, waking up at a specific time, or even getting in the sea because someone on YouTube told you to. In fact, the most optimal morning routine is something that only you can determine for yourself. So in today's video, let's talk about how you can do exactly that.
We've built this culture of routine worship, of rigidity or failure, of habits over outputs, forgetting that for some, the wealth funds the routine rather than the other way around, as if stacking enough trends before 8 AM guarantees success. But what happens when life throws a curveball? Travel, kids, late nights, injuries, unexpected stresses. A rigid routine breaks under pressure, and when it breaks, most people feel like they have failed, when in reality, the routine just wasn't adaptable. I firmly believe that the most important trait that we can all develop in any setting is adaptability. And that can only come from trial and error, from failure, and from practice.
If you're a night shift nurse, your morning routine shouldn't mirror that of a chief exec with a private chef and 0 kids. If you're a new parent, meditating for 45 minutes before sunrise might not be practical nor realistic. Context matters. The best routine is the one that fits your life, your season, and your priorities. And this is what I believe the optimization crowd often ignore or forget. We live in an imperfect world as imperfect beings and spend a lot of time arguing over what's perfect. Rather than chasing perfection, focus on principles. Here are mine, which might help inform yours. Number 1. Movement before momentum. I always try and get a training session done before I can get swallowed into anything else. Number 2, own my input. I get woken up by the haptic alarm on my Whoop and avoid any notifications until after my movement. Number 3, anchor my intention. Know what matters most that day, not 20 things, just one. I write it down, and if I nail that, I nail the day. Number 4, make it repeatable, not rigid. If your routine requires perfect conditions, it's not a routine, it's a fantasy. Simplicity helps. Number 5, never stack bad days. I try not to take the piss. If I have a chaotic morning that abandons all of these principles, I do my best to make sure I don't do the same the following day. Number 6, consistency compounds. We are what we repeatedly do. For example, I will always try to be in bed and out of bed at the same time in line with my circadian rhythm, as that rule keeps me accountable to some parameters that I know are good for me. Please bear in mind this is what I aim for, but there have been and will be many times where I roll out of bed to the coffee machine and get straight to my laptop. There will be times where I decide to check the business CRM before I get in the shower. There will be times I push my training in favor of some more sleep and then end up chasing my tail all day because of it. The important thing is that I don't punish myself for not adhering to the principles, but rather I learn from it.
I hold myself accountable to 10 questions that keep me realistic and self-aware. And these are the questions that I would encourage you to consider to determine your own principles, and they are as follows. What do I want my morning to achieve for me, mentally, physically, and emotionally? What are my current short and long-term goals? Fitness, work, personal development, etc. Do I need time for deep focus, physical activity, creativity, or calm in the morning? How much time do I realistically have in the morning? What responsibilities or non-negotiables do I need to plan around? What time do I naturally wake up and feel alert? What time do I need to go to bed to support this routine consistently? When do I feel most creative or focused? Morning, afternoon, or evening? What habits make me feel grounded or chaotic first thing in the day? Do I prefer movement, e.g. walking, stretching, training, or stillness, for example, reading or meditation? Only you know the answers to these questions, and they will give you a sense of reality to work within, control what you can, accept what you can't, and begin the process of trial and error, evolution and adaptability that is finding your optimal morning routine. So what does a typical morning look like for me? To give an example, every day I like to do something intentional before the world comes knocking. Today, that is a sea swim. I'm normally up at 6 AM, I let the dogs out, I stand and stare at them wondering how I can charge them rent, I fill in my Whoop journal, I let the dogs in, I shower, I get dressed, I make a coffee, I have some pre-training carbs, I normally hit session number 1 of the day at 7 AM, I complete said session, I shower again, I get dressed again, I make coffee again, I have my breakfast, I get to the office or whatever place of work I have set, if traveling, I write down my priorities and timings for the day, I open my laptop and I get to work. I've tried lots of different things over the years and I've learned lots of different lessons, but I have found my optimal morning routine in principle. And I've developed the adaptability to let whatever the morning throws my way be my routine, if it needs to be.
And the irony is, by virtue of filming this video this morning, there were a few adjustments to that routine that I have just described. Does that mean that I'm going to have a bad day? No. So far, I'm having a great day. So whatever comes next is whatever comes next. The Hubermanization of the modern world often makes it easy to forget when talking about things like this that the only thing that really matters is the basics, done well and done repeatedly. The optimal morning routine isn't a checklist, it's a foundation. Something flexible enough to adapt and something strong enough to keep you grounded. So stop chasing someone else's version of perfect and start building a routine that actually works for you. And remember that consistency beats complexity every single time. So with that being said, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, please drop it a like down below as it really helps out the channel. Whilst you're there, hit subscribe and ding that little bell icon so you don't miss any future content. And please share any thoughts, feelings, comments, insights down below. If there's anything that's worked especially well for you, anything you've tried that really hasn't worked for you, any specific examples that you want to give so that we can support anyone watching this video, right down there and make it a really insightful comment section. Wouldn't that be nice? Thank you very much for watching and I will see you next time.